Hey guys, and welcome to the Working Money channel. So for those of you guys who signed up for a BITRUE account or who decided to put your FLR tokens on BITRUE and were worried about the withdrawal limits, apparently now BITRUE has now announced that they are now in fact allowing users to withdraw their FLR tokens from their BITRUE wallet. So there was a statement here. Jungle Inc just posted this: BITRUE FLR withdrawals are now live. And somebody down here, Scott Hooker, he did post, looks like in some comment section here, just withdrew my FLR off of BITRUE to Bifrost. It is now open. Enjoy. I also happened to see the official announcement from BITRUE as well. So they have now, I guess, got all the kinks sorted out. You can now start delegating your FLR tokens on Bifrost if that's what you guys are deciding to do. James O here saying, thank goodness, just got mine off there. So we have a confirmation too that somebody in the XRP community has, in fact, withdrawn their FLR tokens. Now, I woke up this morning to quite a surprise. XRP has rallied a little bit overnight. This is the daily. Right now, it's trading at 36.1. But overnight, we saw XRP get up to almost 37 cents. So 36.7, 36.8. A bit of a burst for XRP on the hourly. And this is looking quite fine. Hopefully, this starts forming a bullish pennant pattern. It looks like the beginnings of that. And hopefully that'll mean that we'll see another move to the upside. Bringing up Bitcoin real quickly here. Bitcoin continuing this trajectory upward. Again, guys, this is the hourly. And yesterday I talked a little bit about this upward trajectory that we have been seeing for Bitcoin, printing higher lows on the hourly chart and higher highs on the hourly chart. So again, the micro time frame, but we are seeing positive momentum to the upside for Bitcoin, and yesterday it ended right in around here. But as you guys can see today, the trend continues to the upside. So positive news there. Let me throw Bitcoin on the daily for you guys just to get a better sense. Look at that. Mostly green days for Bitcoin over the last little while. And I think for good reason. Let's not forget, we have been in this bear market approximately the same amount of time that we were in the bear market back here in 2018. So this took almost 1 year to the day, actually. Pretty close, 366. I don't know if I'm entirely accurate on here. I'm not zoomed in, but roughly a year here before we really started making our way up again. And, I'm of the opinion that we probably would have stayed above these levels here had the beer flu not happened. So, I think a lot agree with me. This is a black swan event. The entire crypto market cratered along with, traditional markets, bringing us right back down into here. But had this black swan not happened, this would have technically been the beginning of the bull run. And technically, we probably would have stayed above this level here and we would have continued to make our way upward from there. All this to say 366 days. Considering where we are today, we would be up here and 300, the bottom, if we were to bring this all the way to the bottom, we are at 377 days. You guys can see that there. So hopefully, fingers crossed, this is the beginning of an uptrend. This time around, though, we're in a very different situation. Dr. Martin Heisbach here posting this: personal savings rates have reached the lowest level since 2006 and 2007. So we are not seeing people save in the same way. Now we're in a very different time than we were during the last bull market. There is a recession warning looming for 2023, and investors have to be very, very careful what they're doing with their investments. Of course, many have taken money out of the crypto market because they just don't know what is going to happen next, and they want to be liquid. They want to have cash on hand in case they need to. Some people are doing it because they literally can't eat, can't afford groceries. So, that's kind of on the more critical level, but others are just trying to play it safe. Now we have this, guys, in the context of a greater financial reset, and, corralling in the crypto market is part of this. I saw this from ISO 20022. Let's do it here on Twitter now in Canada. Get this, USDT. So Tether USDT will be gone off the crypto.com exchange as of January 31st, 2023. So I also happened to see this from somebody else. Somebody else sent this to me. I believe it was Free American Spirit on Twitter as well. The notice is as follows. Please be informed that Tether USDT is no longer supported in your jurisdiction. USDT and all USDT trading pairs will be delisted from the crypto.com app and exchange as of the 31st. Transactions will be suspended. Please take urgent action to review your USDT balance and take any necessary action, example, withdrawal or conversion, before the effective date. So guys, even if you don't live in Canada, this could be a sign of things to come. I mean, usually what we happen to see is, we'll see one country do it. And I mean, this isn't even one entire country. This is one crypto exchange in one country. But what we'll generally see is more exchanges doing the same in that one country and then that expanding to other countries because, we know they want us all to be on one cryptocurrency standard, and it needs to be regulated for the powers that be to have ultimate control. They don't want us to be rich. They do not want us to have control. And so there's going to be stablecoins. So don't get me wrong. Tether is just one particular stablecoin that is kind of questionable. I mean, for all intents and purposes, I can go into all of that. However, there are other cryptocurrencies, other stablecoins rather, that I think are going to be more favorable to regulators. And guys, we are seeing that occur. Like this is one particular example. Michael Branch bringing this up with regards to USDC coin. Okay, so USDC transfer volume hits 5x USDTs in fallout from FTX collapse. So get this, guys. So the stablecoin USDC, or Circle, has grown in popularity since the collapse of FTX. It now frequently reaches daily transfer volumes 4 to 5 times that recorded by major competitor Tether, according to data from blockchain analytics firm Glassnode. That's despite the market cap of USDT being $23 billion greater than USDC. As of January 10th, the difference was in USDC's favor by a margin of 4.5 times. Both stablecoins recorded surges in transfer volumes following the infamous tweet from Binance CEO Changpeng Zhao on November the 6th announcing that Binance would liquidate its entire FTX position holdings. Now, it's interesting because Binance has also done something that is quite unique. They have created a BUSD coin, so it's their own stable coin. And whenever you transfer, so you can transfer USDT or USDC to your Binance wallet. And what happens is they find liquidity automatically and automatically convert whatever stable coin you deposit onto the Binance exchange to BUSD. So they are exclusively using their BUSD, their Binance USD stablecoin, instead of all these other stablecoins. And I think it is a way for them to, well, at least this is what they said, it's a way for them to maintain liquidity, to have a liquid market in USDT, or rather in a, not in USDT, in a stable USD coin. And they wanted to remove the redundancies. So that's what they did. But that aside, that's a whole separate thing. USDC seems like it will be the standard for a stablecoin moving forward. So this was interesting. Also, I just wanted to note, so in regards to this, of course, volume increasing for USDC, and this is why we're seeing this here. So Tether USDT at 66.2 billion in market cap. We got USDC here at 43.7. So the gap is fairly close. You compare that to back at the height of the bull market. So I've got the historical coin market cap page up here, and I just decided to take it from the height of the bull market here. So November 21st, 2021, you can see the change in volume here. Okay, so Tether was at 69 billion and USDC coin was only at 3.3. So it definitely has gained popularity since then. The other thing we should note here is that it is one big club. Stephanie Starr bringing this to our attention. So this on the news that, so first, I guess I want you guys to pay attention to this down here. Twitter is preparing to launch new coins feature using Stripe. So here's what it is. The new feature will allow users to reward individual tweets with awards using coins, which can be withdrawn at a $50 minimum threshold. Twitter is continuing to develop the new feature that will allow users to give each other awards using coins that can be purchased with fiat currency. According to security researcher and data miner Jane Manchun Wong, Twitter is currently developing a purchase interface and menu item button for coins and will use Stripe to process payments in fiat. The news suggests that Twitter's monetization strategy is continuing to develop, despite losing much of its staff just a few months ago following new CEO Elon Musk's takeover. So this is the new feature that they're developing. Obviously, Elon Musk has discussed this idea of wanting to integrate cryptocurrency into Twitter. And, generally speaking, when he has an idea, he goes and he implements it. And I don't know how long you guys have been in the community, but we used to actually have an XRP based tip system over Twitter, the XRP tip bot, created by XRPL Labs, Vin's company. And so, we were able to tip, I think the maximum was up to 10 XRP, I think maybe, on Twitter at that point in time. You just had to put a hashtag tipbot, and then, you could send XRP actually over Twitter using the tipbot feature. And within the XRP community, a lot of us were using that to tip others, for their jobs well done. Well, that eventually got banned. Of course, this was before the Elon era. And now, they're doing something else, and that's okay. Hopefully this will open the doors for more crypto utility for projects over Twitter. And hopefully maybe, something like the XRP tipbot could thrive once again. Now, the interesting thing that Stephanie Starr points out here, Stripe backs Ripple founder's latest digital currency project. So this is an old article from 2014, and this just demonstrates how Jed McCaleb got his first $3 million to start funding Stellar through Stripe. Stripe has backed the project to the tune of $3 million. So this just, describing the process run through a nonprofit organization. Stellar is a decentralized protocol for sending and receiving money in any pair of currencies, be they dollar, yen, or Bitcoin. The system works through the concept. So just giving us, the concept of what Stellar was way back in 2014. So that was originally funded by Stripe. And obviously now we have this feature being prepared on Twitter, coins that will be using Stripe as well. So as Stephanie Starr puts it, it is all one big club. The crypto community is fairly small if you think of it. So just wanted to thank her for posting that. I also saw this, guys, XRP and Cardano products are being launched by a major exchange, and that exchange is Binance. So it's part of the expansion of its network of investment products on offer. They've launched a new way, guys, to invest in XRP and ADA. The new XRP ADA-oriented products have been launched in the dual investment branch of Binance. As of today, holders of these crypto assets are invited to deposit tokens under subscription, choosing a strategy that involves either selling these assets further at a higher price or conversely buying them at an undervalued price. So not too much in terms of detail here. By selecting a strategy, though, as well as the desired price that the participant predicts should be accurate, and the date on which the price should go up. So it sounds almost like options. The tokens are locked into the product until the selected date, and the annual percentage rate is applied to them. It is kind of an options trading, but with capitalization. In addition to the previously mentioned XRP and ADA, the new product basket also includes all major cryptocurrencies like Bitcoin, Ethereum, Solana, and Polygon, which is the Matic coin. So a new option for XRP holders, and I guess if you hold those other cryptocurrencies as well, Binance does now have a new product for you. I know many are skeptical these days with relinquishing their cryptocurrency, allowing someone else to custody their XRP. I mean, we've heard way too many horror stories in the last year about exchanges going down and scams and whatever, It's been quite the cluster F, so I can understand being apprehensive. Usually when you see these high yields, if it sounds too good to be true, probably is. I personally don't participate in these things. I did for a little bit. I did minuscule amounts, not huge amounts. But to me, it's just not worth the risk. Considering the space is so underregulated, I don't want to call it underregulated. Not as regulated, I guess, as traditional markets. It's not worth it. Just not worth the risk for me. I'm of the old school mentality, keep my crypto safe on a cold storage solution, and that's where I keep my cryptocurrency. I have a ledger NANO, and I do have an affiliate link, by the way, guys, in the description of the video. You can use it if you want. If you're still looking for a cold storage solution for your cryptocurrency, and so Ledger's got a great line of products. You can use it if you want. You don't have to use it. Just thought I'd bring that to your attention. Want to keep moving because I also happen to see this from 801 XRP here on Twitter. So the FSB chair and president of this Netherlands bank, okay, the bank Klaas Knot, he recited a quote. Now listen to what he says in this quote, guys. Banks are going to change, and they're fundamentally going to change forever. I mean, we've got all these new innovations with regards to money, stablecoins, and we're also talking about central bank digital currencies, how those are coming down the pipe in many countries around the world, and this idea that there are certain stablecoins that governments are going to reject, others that those are going to favor. So banks likely looking at this and getting prepared. Listen to this.
Much at home here. But talking to a predominantly US audience, I thought it would be good to start with a quote that hopefully will resonate as much with you as it did originally with me. And the quote is as follows. My friends, I want to talk for a few minutes with the people of the United States about banking. End of quote. So began on March the 12th, 1933, the first of about 30 fireside chats that President Roosevelt delivered over the radio. And it was 8 days after his inauguration. He had spent the first week coping with an epidemic of bank closures that affected households in every state. 3 days after closing down the entire American banking system, Congress passed the Emergency Banking Act, and Roosevelt used it to create the Federal Deposit Insurance when the banks reopened. That Sunday night, on the eve of the end of the bank holiday, Roosevelt spoke to a radio audience of more than 60 million people. And he told them in very clear language, quote, what has been done in the last few days, why it was done, and what the next steps are going to be, end of quote. And this result was a remarkable turnaround in the public's confidence. Well, since this almost iconic banking crisis of 1933, we've seen financial crises in various shapes and sizes throughout the world. And now the COVID crisis poses yet a new challenge to the financial system. So how has the financial system stood up against this latest test? And what can we learn from it for the future? These are the questions that I want to address with you today. First, what I will try to reintroduce is the concept of systemic risk, and I will argue that this has been the primary ingredient in financial crises throughout history, from 1933 to the 2008 global financial crisis. I will then discuss what governments and regulators have done to strengthen the financial system. I will explain how the financial reforms of the past 10 years helped to cushion the impact of the COVID crisis, especially in the banking sector, but that systemic risk revealed itself in other.
All right, so the clip ends there. Mainly wanted to focus on that quote with regards to the banks and the fact that in history, history repeats itself firstly, or at least it tends to, but, this whole concept that the banks were closed. I mean, this was a crisis moment. They were closed. There was a complete economic turnaround. The president went on and addressed the nation over the radio in 1933. And if you notice here, the FSB chair and president, he was saying how it was unusual because once the president came and reassured the American public that, we've now put in the FDIC insurance, so now all your deposits are going to be covered by insurance, the sentiment of the public, boom, turned around just like that. And the confidence was restored. So, you bring in a problem. If you believe in this theory here, the powers that be obviously collapsing the structure of the financial system, and they're looking to usher in a solution for that. Cryptocurrency, DLT technology, of course, Ripple and XRP going to be central to this. And so you bring in the problem, you have a solution on hand, and this is where the teething pains are right now. Since we know about this, we're just kind of painfully waiting for it to be implemented, holding our cryptocurrency, waiting for our XRP to rally in price once we do finally see that real world utility. But just back to my point here before I get too far off track, the government put in measures to solve the problem, and confidence was restored pretty much very, very quickly. Now, we're in a bit of a different situation, as he discusses in this clip. There's the beer flu, and this is affecting the global financial system. So, banks are going to fundamentally change. And so I happen to see this, okay, APIs turn businesses into banking service providers in weeks. This one coming from Matthew Lany here on Twitter. Let me read you guys a little bit of this. So the CEO of the Banking as a Service platform unit, he told Payments that BaaS and embedded finance models would change the banking, payments, and retail dynamics. Short term, the evolution of any ecosystem depends on the availability of capital and the economy's health. But when looking over the next 10 years, he said, if you really think about the numbers of dollars that are out there in the world today, and you think about the value that software products give us as customers and businesses every day, to me, it's inevitable that a large portion of these dollars over time are going to find their way into software that's going to be automated and streamlined and more convenient to use, i.e. the XRPL, RippleNet, obviously processing a lot of these transactions on the blockchain, not just cross-border transactions, but many different financial transactions at a high level That convenience will only be heightened as embedded finance connects non-financial service firms, a retailer for example, with banks. Those non-financial firms can offer anything from bank accounts to cards and other payment products as part of their existing software and platforms without obtaining a banking license. Conceivably, any tech company, regardless of vertical, can be a tech firm and financial services provider. So note this, and I don't think that many of these crypto companies want to necessarily become the financial provider. I mean, when I first started this channel, and I've told this story in the past, I always thought, why doesn't Ripple just create an app and basically be a bank through a mobile app, and so where you can just convert your money at a very affordable cost to anyone, send it to anyone in the world, leveraging XRP, so on and so forth, and the app would basically be rolled out worldwide. Well, at that time, I didn't realize how difficult it is to permeate the financial system, and so it seemed like a very obvious solution for me. But over the years, obviously, Ripple has been building the partnerships, and there's reasons for that. Obviously, they can't just barge into the sector, guns a-blazing, doing what they want. And so, they got to go through the appropriate channels, especially if they want the powers that be, the IMF, the World Economic Forum, the World Bank, on their side. So this goes on to say, he said that through the last several years, companies that have developed software solutions have spun the flywheel of distribution, trust, and data. Those firms now have the chance to take their existing client bases and add value by providing software and adding money storage and movement to the equation. So, these APIs turning businesses into banking services, and this puts into question so many things. First of all, do the businesses want to become banking services? Because there's this whole process that goes along with that, getting the banking license and all that. But also, how could it streamline the banking sector if banks can plug into these APIs? Well, Matthew Liny gave a little bit of insight on this. Banks could eventually be phased out or forced into the new digital money system using public APIs. Businesses can connect in-house or use fintechs like Ripple to help. So this is essentially going to democratize not just banking, but businesses that may not eventually need banking in the future if they can just plug in using Ripple's technology. So again, another example of how Ripple could change the landscape, not just helping banks on that end, but also helping businesses maybe come to the realization that, hey, wait, since we only do this with banks, we're not even going to need the bank anymore if we can just plug into Ripple's API. So take a look at this, guys. Public API methods communicate directly with an XRP Ledger server using the public API method. So this is directly from XRP Ledger from the website here. Public methods are not necessarily meant for the general public, but they are used by any client attached to the server. Think of public methods as being for members or customers of the organization running the server. And not only that, of course, we also know that Ripple is always hiring, and generally they're hiring software engineers that specialize with API. So very interesting and astute observation here from Matthew Liny on Twitter. Banking is going to change. Of course, Ripple is going to be an integral part to integrate these businesses into the new financial system, even if they don't need a bank anymore. That's just my opinion, but I want to hear what you guys think. Please subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Like the video if you like the content I'm providing. I always love hearing your comments. See you in the next one, guys.